Hello, people, and we are in here, and we are back, and we will do more and more going to read The Ugly Truth. Dun 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 dun. His face is censored.
I am not a censor. I am the owner. I am not the owner. I am the moderator. I am the co-owner of reasoning.
Now he's really censored. Bye bye. Alright, now let's get back to it. Monday. This math thing is becoming a problem. We have standardized testing coming up at my school, and I heard teachers won't get their bonuses unless we get good scores. So there's a lot of pressure on us kids, which kind of stinks. I remember back in kindergarten, math used to be really fun. One chocolate chip cookie. What's another chocolate chip cookie? Two chocolate chip cookies. Miss McElroy says that if we don't do well on the test, we'll lose our budget and music class will turn into detention or something like that. I don't really think the kids get the message. Don't get the message. A few weeks ago, we had a math quiz, and Miss McElroy said it was open notebook, which meant we could use our notes and textbooks to help us out. When she left the classroom to take care of something, and the second she stepped out the door, it was total chaos. Practically everybody failed the quiz because people were using notebook paper and books as ammunition. So based on that episode, I don't think Miss McElroy is going to make any big plans for how she's going to spend her bonus. October, Tuesday. Tonight, Dad walked up to me while I was sitting on the couch. He seemed bent and out of shape. He really wanted to know why I didn't bring the recycling bin this morning like he asked me to. I told him he must be confused. He never said anything to me about the recycling. But when he asked me to do it last night, I was playing video games. And to be honest with you, that did seem a little familiar. If I did forget, it wasn't my fault. I actually have a great system for remembering things. You know, some people leave notes for themselves when they need to remember something. Well, I think that's a lot of work and a waste of paper too. So let's say I'm in bed and Mom walks into my room and tells me I have to bring a permission slip to school in the morning. I don't get bed to write a note. I just throw one of my pillows across the room. Then when I wake up in the morning, I go to walk out the door and I see the pillow and think, hey, what's this pillow doing here? And then I remember, oh yeah, I have to bring the permission slip for school. See what I mean? It's totally foolproof. Now that I think of it, I did leave myself a reminder to take out the recycling. I especially remembered putting my socks on the TV before I went to bed to remind myself in the morning. And if Dad did something to mess up my system, he's only got himself to blame. himself to learn. But Dad wouldn't let it go. So he said now that I'm getting older, I need to start being more responsible. I heard this sort of thing from Dad before. The last few weeks of summer, our neighbor Miss Grove hired me to take care of her plants when she was on while she was on a business trip. Well, I did do it for the first few days, and then I guess you could say I got busy with other things. When Dad asked me how the plants were doing, I realized I haven't been there in over a week. I went to go grab Miss Girl's key so I could water her plants, but the key wasn't in the usual spot. Practic I practically turned our house upside down looking for that key, but I couldn't find it. It turns out the reason why I couldn't find the key was because it wasn't in our house. I left it at Miss Grove's house and she found it when she got back from her trip. Miss Miss Grove was pretty mad that her key was in the front door, but the way I see it, she she should have been happy. Nobody robbed her house. She was mad about her plants too, because unfortunately most of them didn't make it. I suggested that he should buy a cactus or another plant that doesn't need a lot of water to survive. That way everything would be fine if I lost her key and the next time she went on a business trip. But Miss Grove said she wouldn't hire me again, even if her life depended on it. Then she sent me home without paying, which stinks because I really did spend a lot of time looking for that key. Anyways, I think that episode is still fresh in Dad's mind. That's why I'm hearing his responsibility thing again. Hopefully, Dad will leave my socks on the television the next time around and things won't get to this point. Thursday. Dad is really serious about making me on me t- on about me taking on more responsibility. The first thing he wants me to do is start waking myself up in the morning. That that's actually a real problem because I depend on him to wake me up. That's the way I've been doing for years. I don't really see any change to things now. If Dad said if I don't learn how to wake myself up with an alarm clock, then I'm not gonna know how to do it when I go off to college. Uh, I al- I always figured that a way me and Dad will still be in touch. Uh, hello. Yesterday it was the first day I tried to wake up myself, but it didn't work out just as well. My alarm went off and all, but the sound just worked its way into my dream. Meep, 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 cut it out! And today didn't go any better. I set my alarm to radio and turned it to classical and tuned it to the classical music station. And because any I didn't want to hear that annoying beeping first thing in the morning. But the music couldn't wake me up either. The problem is, without an actual human being waking me up, my brain is always going to have to find some excuse to keep sleeping. I always think I might have figured out a solution to this alarm clock situation. I found one of those old style wind up clocks in storage room yesterday. I mean today. And those clocks make a huge racket when they go up. I tested it out to see if it still worked, and it did. I don't think anyone could sleep through a noise like that. The only problem is that the clock doesn't have a snooze bar, so I'm worried to shut it off and fall back asleep. So I hid the clock under my bed, hidden the clock under my bed. This way, when the alarm goes up, I have to get up and find the clock, and I'll be up for the day. It turns out that the new alarm clock caused some problems. With that wind-up clock ticking under my bed, I felt like I was sleeping on the top of a bomb that was about to go off. So the stress kept me awake about for half of the night. I sleepwalked through my day at school, which was fine until we had an assembly. We were lined up to go to the auditorium, and I was leaning against the wall. I must I must have fallen asleep for a half second because my hand slipped and accidentally set off the fire alarm. And the whole school had to evacuate. And 3 minutes later, there was a bunch of fire trucks out front. After they found out there was no fire, they let everyone back into school. Uh, the principal got a loudspeaker and said whoever set off that alarm was going to be suspended and that they turned themselves in. I don't know much, what I do know is that you shouldn't announce the punishment before you ask the people to turn themselves in. So I decided I would be smart and keep quiet and let this blow all over. After the third period, a rumor started going around school that the fire alarm squirts out invisible liquid when you pull the handle and that teachers had some sort of wand, some sort of X-ray wand, so they can use it to see the liquid on someone's hand. So it was only a matter of time before they found the culprit. Then everybody started wondering if it was the teachers who started the rumor, and it was just a trick to see which kid would go to the bathroom first to wash his hands. Yeah, so that got everyone paranoid. Nobody would go to the bathroom, and everyone who actually needed to go decided to go decided to just hold it at the end of the day. The principal eventually had to shut down the school early because nobody was washing their hands and we were right in the middle of flu season. Mom was off at the library studying, so I had at to call dad at work and ask him to come pick me up from school early. And he didn't seem too happy about it. If he didn't make me wake up myself, none of this would have even happened. Wednesday, we're starting a new unit on our health class called The Facts of Life. And apparently it covers all the stuff that we've been dancing around for the last couple months. They sent permission slips home, and if you don't get your sign, you're not allowed to even be in the classroom for the rest of the semester. I didn't really like that permission slip thing. Mom only lets me watch G-rated movies, so I know there's no way she'll let me be in the class. To get around that problem, I decided to type up a fake note and take it on top of the actual permission slip. And luckily, Mom didn't look at the paper too closely, and I got the signature I needed. Now that's an easy decision. I'm actually glad we're doing this facts of life unit because I have a lot of questions about this stuff and I don't have a reliable way of getting answers. Just about everything I know in this department comes from Albert Sandy. I'm starting to wonder if he's been feeding me bad information. Like last week, he told everyone at the lunch table that it's medically impossible for a girl to fart. Well, I know that's not true because of the time Mom hugged Aunt Dorothy on Christmas Eve. Now, anyway, today was the first day of the facts of life unit. And sure, Nurse Powell sent the kids whose parents didn't sign their permission slips to be special helpers of the day. The rest of us were pretty excited because we couldn't wait to hear all this juicy stuff Nurse Powell was about to tell us. But it didn't go the way I expected at all. Nurse Powell put up some charts on the easel and started talking about zygotes and chromosomes and a whole bunch of scientific nonsense. And I kept waiting for her to tell us this was all a big joke and then get to the good stuff. But it actually never happened. I'm guessing school is just trying to confuse us to make us lose interest. Anyway, if the school is trying to confuse us, they're doing a pretty good job. At lunch, we try to explain what we learned in the facts of life and unit to the kids who didn't get their permission slips signed. And we couldn't agree on a single thing. And guys, that will be it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you guys next time. Dun, 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 dun.